Get in and out, clean.
That's what she said. Sorry, I had to say it. It was too easy. Anyway, what's up guys, it's Nicky, and today we got some Black Ops 2 gameplay for you. I'm going to be using only the Cap 40. My attachments are long barrel and extended mags, and I absolutely love this weapon. I would highly recommend you guys use it because it could pretty much be a submachine gun if it had a longer clip size. But anyway, everyone and their grandma's talking about Call of Duty, and I don't just want to be another one of those commentators. So every time I make a COD video, it's probably going to be off topic unless I have some sort of magical tip to offer you guys. But I want to talk about something that was on my mind. I take a lot of multimedia classes at school, and by that I mean I sit around, finish my work really quickly, and watch YouTube videos. But I'm the switcher in this little studio we have. I actually run like a TV show at school. I don't know how many schools have TV shows, but we have our own channel that broadcasts out to the school, and we mainly do school announcements and these little video segments that people have made in class. And one video segment played the other week, and it was about this little robbery that went on a bike shop. The dude came up, tried to rob the cashier at gunpoint, and the cashier was an extreme badass, so he beat the guy up and chased him out of the store. Anyway, it was a pretty awesome segment. We played it. A lot of people found it entertaining. And needless to say, it was a fictional event. It was just completely made by students. Didn't actually happen. But this teacher sent my teacher, the multimedia teacher, an email saying that they were offended by the segment. And this is what really blew my mind and kind of made me mad. Well, it didn't make me mad, but it was just crazy how this teacher could find this segment offensive. Or she also said that the segment shouldn't have been played out to high school students. Now you need to remember, I know some of you guys aren't in America, some of you guys are international people. So in high school in America, which is where this was broadcasted, people are generally at the very youngest 12 or 13 years old. So if you think about the movie rating system, we have G, PG, then PG-13, and X and R. This was definitely at the very most a PG rated sort of video segment. So there is no way that anyone at the school could have been like scared or anything, because the teacher brought up a point where this segment could have been encouraging people to go out and rob stores, which is completely stupid. I hate that argument. It's the same argument as video games make people more violent. I've killed probably millions and millions of people in video games, but I have never killed in real life a single person. And teacher goes on arguing. She wrote this super long paragraph, and I was talking about it with my teacher. And one thing that came up, everyone in high school, at least in America, knows that a gun exists. I mean, the gun in this segment wasn't even fired. No one got stabbed. There was no blood. It was completely PG, and this teacher still says no guns shouldn't be shown on the air at school. But really, who's ignorant of guns this day and age in high school? I mean, maybe if they were 5, yeah, but today, that totally shouldn't be the case. Everyone knows that guns exist, and this teacher had no reason to freak out. The teacher's also completely misinterpreting what the video was actually supposed to be. It was more of a cinematic thing, had good music to it, lots of good camera angles, and the fight scene in the middle was awesome. The teacher's completely missing the point that it was a good piece of cinematography and saw it more as a violent act and to encourage people to rob bike stores. So she's completely missing the point there. And if within the next week someone robbed a bike store, it probably wasn't a byproduct of them watching that short 1-minute video. It was probably a product of the fact that they were already pretty messed up in the head. And what also blows my mind was earlier that week another not at all violent video was shown, where this dude and this girl were talking on top of a balcony. The dude forgot the girl's anniversary, so she pushed him off. And while the previous segment got complaints, this one didn't get any at all. And if you look really to the core of this, even though both segments were for action and comedy, the second segment, if I take the perspective of the previous teacher I was talking about who was crazy, her perspective on that video would have been, this is domestic abuse, the girl beat up the dude for forgetting their anniversary, and as a result, this segment also shouldn't have been played. And this teacher's inconsistent logic just baffles me, because she's offended by a video that had a gun in it. It just had a gun in it. It wasn't fired, mind you. And she's offended by that, but she's not offended by the fact that this girl pushed this dude off a balcony. So we have some inconsistent, overall stupid, dumb logic from this teacher, and overall, no one should have been offended by either of those segments. They were both for comedy, and it's just the way things can be misinterpreted like that. And I kind of see where the teacher's coming from if I want to sympathize with her for a little bit, because she wants to keep the world kind of pure. Everything's made out of cotton candy and flowers and happy and stuff. Unfortunately, it's not. We got to be a little more realistic here. There are wars, and maybe we shouldn't go around shooting people. That's true. But in the real world, there are guns, and in the real world, people fall off balconies. No, maybe not really, but that was for comedy. The dude was okay, by the way, in the fictional segment that occurred, and they lived happily ever after. And now that I go back and think about how this teacher worded the letter, why in the world did she say offended? Because I know for a fact she said that several times in the email. In fact, my teacher let me see it because I was bored. Sitting there watching kitten videos on YouTube, so he's like, hey Nikki, come over here and read this and see how this teacher's stupid. He didn't really say that out loud, but I know he was thinking it. So I guess at the core of this teacher's letter, she says she was offended by it, and she would have rather have not seen it. Now, if you think about this for a second, it goes against First Amendment, U.S. Constitution, stuff like that, free speech and that censorship. But also, she says we should have censored or not have shown the video with a pistol in it because it goes against what she thinks is right. Now, censorship is kind of like this quote I heard. Hit that guy in the face with a shock charge. This quote I heard that goes something like, censorship is like denying a man eating a steak just because a baby can't have one. Or the quote went something like that. Anyway, the teacher had one extreme side of the argument where you can't show anything that's even mildly strange or out there or violent on TV, but there could be another extreme side of the argument where, hey, you can run around naked and just massacre everyone and show that as a segment on a TV show, broadcast out to high schoolers who are 13 to 18 years old. So I guess my question to you guys, I want you to leave a comment down in the comment section down below, is where do you think the line is drawn? Was that teacher right? If you think that, you're crazy. Or are the boundaries somewhere else? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Leave me a comment down below. My name's Nikki. Two of my older videos are going to pop up on the screen in a second. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all some other time.